What is going on? I'm Zedmod. This is Rush Wars. As you can see, lots has changed since my last Rush Wars video. We have got my chopper upgraded, as you can tell by its beautiful double-bladed action. My kids were the first ones to point that out. They absolutely love this chopper. I didn't even notice the details changes. They were the first ones to point that one out to me. Background music, my wife actually was like, what's that noise? Actually, that's super happy. So well done to Rush Wars on the little things. Kids liking the chopper, wife liking the background music. So my gold mine has sadly expired. Unfortunately, I can't show you all of my replays because they're gone for some reason, but it was just absolutely 3-star crushing everyone. Let's just have a quick look here while we wait and see what's going on. So the freeze mine and then the double cake bomb was just absolutely melting defenders. So had a lot of fun watching all the stars come in on the defensive side. Obviously that was set up before the defensive changes came in. Now we've got to draft our defenses. I haven't even looked at it yet, so let's go have a look. We're going to do a quick draft. We're going to find a new gold mine. We actually found, I think this is Area 54. I think these purple barrels contain some sort of sludge stuff. So you can actually spend 100 diamonds and get a new gold mine. I'm pretty happy with this one. We've got one mine up front, which people will probably get quite a bit, which is not bad, but we've got 2 at the very back, which is, I'm pretty happy with this. Now, as far as defenses, we did pretty well. Sadly, we did not get walls. Walls are one of my favorite defenses. So, without walls, I'm going to be a little bit sad, but at least we do have this right here, which is the freeze mine. I love the freeze mine. Absolutely love the freeze mine. And then what we're going to do is throw this in here. Now, what I've found is that when building my bases, I like to focus on airdrops. Airdrops are the thing that can tear your base apart, whether it's the arcade ruining some of your troops or the paratroopers at the back. We're going to do more on paratroopers in a little bit, but we're just going to get this base started, and then I'm going to throw this right back in here in the assumption that someone's going to try and drop paratroopers back there, and then my box ninja is going to hop out and ruin their life. Happens so often. Maybe we'll leave this right about here. We'll put some hot shots here. No shield, which is a bit unfortunate, but maybe we can drop this dude right in here. This is my favorite defense. Like, whoever thought of this on the Supercell side deserves a cold beverage, because a person, the troop literally does nothing. So I can appreciate that, because that's me some days. We're going to go something like this. We're going to get a gorilla over in here, because it's nice to have a tank once in a while, something that can take some damage up the front as the hot shots shoot from behind. I mean, this base is fairly mediocre to start with. We're going to save and go home. I did not use the bonus defense because I know that right in here, we've got the cluster cake coming. Now, cluster cake, the bonus defense takes 20 contributions now, which is a lot. And as you can see, it's 100 gold per time because it's based on your HQ level. So, quite a bit of gold. Thankfully, gold is fairly easy to come by at this point. Really hoping to push that gold so I can upgrade my headquarters without using any gems. We're going to push to HQ 7. Now, they just gave us a big gold rebate for all of the previous changes in the HQ. Definitely not required, but at the same time, super appreciated. So we're going to drag this over into this area right about here. I absolutely love watching people try to use invis and get their invis a little bit too early or a little bit too late, and then just get absolutely wrecked. So this base isn't something I would have built by default. I mean, I really have been using walls basically every single time, and I don't really like plumber vans because they don't even drop the troops against jetpacks. So if you have jetpacks, plumber holes are much stronger against them, because at least the jetpacks at least have to then shoot the troops. Plumber vans don't even see jetpacks at all, so a little bit unfortunate there. We're going to go with that. Just maybe I'll go something like this to start. My assumption is they're going to come somewhere into about here, move things around a little bit more central, and then we'll save and go home, and hopefully someone will attack it. But in the meantime, we're going to talk about paratroopers. Now, before we do that, please do check your app store. There is an optional update. Replays were absolutely broken for the past 24 hours or so. They put an optional update out. I know that Rick was in the office until like midnight or something ridiculous like that. So they were burning the midnight oil, working hard on Rush Wars. And so we're going to try, and I'm going to show you how I like to use paratroopers. Paratroopers and invis are two of the strongest airdrops. I like to use paratroopers a bit more than invis because I find that I get a little bit more gold. I feel like you get more stars when you use invis, but with paratroopers I find that I end up getting, especially in the last meta, bases started to get built to stop the kill squad, to stop all hot shots. So what I've been doing is something along these lines. I found that this troop loadout has been able to consistently not only get me stars, but get me gold, and farming gold is super, super important. And speaking of farming gold, this new draft lottery system is really quite difficult at times because you'll have no boxes, no keys left, and then you'll be trying to farm gold and you'll have a terrible, terrible troop loadout. So I got a little bit fortunate here. I've got invis, I've got Zookas, I've got shields, I've got hotshots, I've got paratroopers. So this is exactly the state you want to be in when it comes to farming gold. Now, what I like to do, I like to drop my paratroopers right in the middle. So all of a sudden, we've got all of those troops from the very, very back walking forwards. And that's exactly what you want with paratroopers. You want to draw some troops into walking forwards. And by doing that, we can drop the paratroopers at the back, which will not only distract that cannon, but if the cannon doesn't turn, we can get that back gold mine. So that is one way that I like to use paratroopers. Obviously, you could use the arcade instead of that first paratrooper. But I find that by using that, you'll actually get the box ninja to pop out sometimes. And if nothing turns and shoots those paratroopers, you can actually take out the mortar or something like that. So yes, you could swap and go like one arcade, one paratrooper, but I really, really do enjoy using two paratroopers. I find that I can beat almost every base with that. So same sort of thing. We're going to drop back in here, and then 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, as soon as that Zooka moves forward, see, we managed to pull the box ninja out of the box. We've got that Zooka moving forwards, and everything is good. So now all we need is I can drop this right back in about 3, 2, 1. I can drop back in here, and I was a little bit late, not super awesome. This is the problem with doing live attacks with YouTube. If I had more time, I would collect my best hits and edit them together, and that's not how this channel works. This channel is live hits all the time, because canned hits, anyone can pull this amazing canned hit out of their archives, but that just takes way more time than I have, and I like to do live because then you guys get to see my failures, you get to see some successes, and we can build on that. So if you're new to the channel, please, if you have questions, comments, as always, please do hit me up. We're going to do something a little bit different here with paratroopers. The other thing you can do is just double drop right on top of a gold mine, and you're basically guaranteed that back star. Now, there was no gold in that gold mine, it feels like, and boom. So instead of our troops having to walk through all of that stuff or use my paratroopers as a distraction, we drop double paratroopers right on top of the gold mine, and 98.4% of the time, you'll be able to take down a gold mine with just paratroopers. I don't recommend doing that first of all. You want everything to turn towards your troops, so they have to turn back, which gives an extra little bit of delay, and your troops can just take down that headquarters. Now, the other thing to be aware of is 99% of the time, someone's going to have a box ninja. Like, in this loadout, I can almost guarantee that one of those gold mines has a box ninja, and if it doesn't, great, but when you're dropping your paratroopers, you have to assume they have a box ninja, and then plan for a box ninja, and if there is no box ninja, you're laughing. The other thing I like to do in this sort of layout is the fact that that person's shields are up front. Put your Zookas in front of your shields, because that way their shields are going to walk forwards, your Zookas are going to shoot them, and then your shields are going to pass them. Hopefully that works out. We'll see here in a second. I'm going to drop this back here as far back as I can, and we're already getting one set of gold mines. Perfect. We're going to drop back and get this back gold mine, and that's basically the perfect paratrooper drop. I mean, the fact they did not have a box ninja just made that ridiculously easy. So that's the other way you can obviously use them, is just drop them. And by dropping one, if there was a box ninja, we could drop a second and take it down. So that's why I dropped on that bottom one first, because then potentially my paratroopers could walk from the bottom to the top. Now, I know a lot of this stuff is super obvious, but the thing is, I keep getting asked people, how do you use paratroopers? What do you use paratroopers for? So the other thing that I like to use paratroopers for is strictly as a distraction. So all you need to do is get the other person's troops to turn around for half a second, gives your troops a little bit of time to proceed and to get them turned. So right now, those two pictures have got to turn around, and just give us a little extra second, turn them around, gives our bazookas time to get shots off, gives our bazookas time to get that gold mine down. Could I have probably got that back gold mine? Maybe, but then we couldn't show how to distract. And that distract works best against the grappling gun, the Gatling gun. The Gatling gun can be distracted so easily because it shoots so slowly to start with. So if you're coming with hotshots or Zookas or a gorilla or whatever it might be up against a Gatling gun, probably things with more health are more susceptible to the Gatling gun. If you can drop your paratroopers, you can do very, very good things. Now again, same thing on this base. We're going to drop right back in here. That gorilla is going to take down our paratrooper. The box ninja hops out of the box. Now hopefully we can actually use that to our advantage. We know exactly where the box ninja is, so I could drop my paratroopers on that bottom if I wanted to, or we can just wait, and there we go. We'll drop in behind, and potentially just save ourselves some time on this base, obviously, because we're just crushing all of these bases. Farming gold should be very, very close to that HQ upgrade. 49,479. I'm going to keep going. I want to get this headquarters upgrade. That way I can start working on my chopper gold. And do let me know how much gold you got back from your rebate, and not only that, but what HQ level you're at, what chopper level you're at, and which troops you're enjoying the most. I personally am super stoked at letting us use these cards that have been moved to later headquarters, because, I mean, otherwise I would not be able to use invis, which would suck. I would not be able to use the what's that dude's name? The sneaky ninja. Now, see, we managed to get that laser to move forward, and now we're going to pull off a snipe on this back gold mine, and probably be able to get just two, I'm thinking. Came very close to that third one, but picking up gold, look at that, 333 gold. So much gold in the game ecosystem right now. So easy to farm. As long as you have a decent set of troops, once you run out of keys and boxes and things like that. Are you running out of keys or boxes or both? I mean, it's not like there's a box there and you can't open it. Anyways, so the other thing is that the way that they've designed this, it only costs about 25 cents to get an extra set of troops. So if you come up with it at a time where you've got, like, say, an hour to farm some gold, but your last draft is terrible, you can end up getting some decent troops just by switching your draft up. I'm not saying you need to start spending money on the game if you're a free-to-play. There are lots and lots of free gems out there hidden in obstructions and all of that fun stuff. So that use of paratroopers was awful, but I think there's a little spot right about in here that I can drop. Let's just drop them out in here. And we should be able to pick up that gold mine, maybe. Those Tesla coils, whatever the heck they're called, do not do a heck of a lot of damage, and they also don't have a heck of a lot of range. So our Zuka might actually be able to pull off at least one more of these gold mines. I keep trying to call them like power cores or headquarters or something, but obviously they're just gold mines. Come on. Go to the right. Now we're getting up against this minion pack, or whatever the heck they're called, and obviously I was really hoping my paratroopers was going to draw them forward, but we still managed to get almost max gold out of that, so 165 gold, and that should give us the upgrade. No, not quite there yet. Not paying very close attention. Now, do be very careful when you're spending your gold on headquarters upgrades. I've already done it at least once where I've spent all my gold and had no gold to attack, and that is not a good position to be in. You want to make sure that you have at least 40, 80, somewhere in there. You want to be able to attack at least 2 to 3 times, because there's nothing worse than having this super stressful attack where if you screw it up, you'll lose all your gold. We're going to get all of, see that? We've got that back picture moving forward, which actually blew up that purple gooey stuff and managed to kill her. So one thing I haven't touched on as far as using paratroopers is against bazookas. They are absolutely fantastic because you can just drop them right on top of bazookas and they will single take down bazookas on their own, and then they're left standing back there, and that's the advantage. Obviously, arcades work very well against bazookas as well, but when you can drop paratroopers on them, they get rid of the bazooka, and then they can take down a mortar or something else along those lines. Let's see if we can show that off quickly here. Now, I have not had a chance to do that quite yet in any of these loadouts, but being able to take out a very back mortar when you're using a squishy troop like a Zuka just works so well. Being able to not lose your troop because the mortar is wrecking your face is super awesome. Let's drop right in the middle here. We'll get those pictures hopefully moving forward, and that should open up that back gold mine for us. Again, those pitchers have way more health, and the arcade probably wouldn't have got them down, and the arcade definitely would not have moved forward and gotten that top gold mine either. So we're probably going to be able to get, maybe depending on that Zuka's shot, come on, get us the 3-star. Not quite. So almost 3-star, all by the power of the wonderful paratroopers. And if you guys have a favorite airdrop, please do let me know. Obviously, there are some very good ones. I have had great success using paratroopers. I've had great success using invis. And then this, what is this thing called? The satellite. Satellite is pretty great as well. Just the fact that you can take down like 6 pitchers with one shot is pretty awesome. So we're going to get into our last attack here. I'll quickly show you our domination score from earlier today because we absolutely crushed it. Like, just beyond belief great. Now, hopefully I'll be able to do a little bit of distraction using paratroopers on that Gatling gun. And if not the end of the world, but on stationary objects, especially the Gatling guns, I mean, the paratroopers just work so well. So just being able to drop them in here and get the Gatling gun to turn around, get the cannon to turn around, which just gave our Zukas a couple of extra shots. Realistically, that cannon might have been able to take us down, so dropping directly behind, make the Gatling gun, make the cannon turn around can be extremely useful. Mortars, blind spots, all of that sort of fun stuff. So we're going to upgrade our HQ to level 7. Boom. We're going to get a little bit more gold per hour. We're going to be able to have access to that chopper, and we've got a whole bunch of new cards we can get. So super stoked on that. Now our domination from today, 45-17. Look at this. So our top player, Ikit, who is HQ 9, chopper level 8, didn't even have to attack. Grendel, holy up here, didn't have to use any of his troops, and we still managed to get 45 stars. So absolutely crushed. I got average 3 stars. Grendel averaged 3 stars across 5 attacks, and then it was just mopping up. Very good attacks all the way across. I love looking up and just seeing 3 stars across the entire domination. So if you're looking for a team, we are completely full for the second, but I can almost guarantee we're going to have space at some point. People seem to be coming and going. I don't know if that's related to changing regions or if that's everyone who is in our team is active. Well, that's one more thing. I really wish if you click Start New Domination, you can see when people are active. I don't believe there's any other way to see that except for by clicking Start a New Domination. So for 2 full days, you can't see if people have been active or not. So Rush Wars team, if you're watching, please give us at least the leader or the elders, or I can't remember what the other name for these things are. What's that? What's the other name? I think it's probably listed here. No, it wasn't. Okay, so let's go back here. I mean, even if you could give it to the co-leaders and leaders to be able to see activity And if you guys are watching and you're face palming and swearing at me through your screen, and you know a way to access that screen, please do hit me up in the comments. Otherwise, that's all for me. Quick tutorial on how to use Paratroopers, and if you guys have any ideas of how to use Paratroopers that I have not mentioned, please also hit them up in the comments, because I only know as much as I know, and if you guys have found some new nice little Easter eggs or nice little tricks, I would love to hear them. Anyways, that's it for me. As always, thanks for coming in. I'm Zedmont. Peace!